This is a different kind of green-fingered hell. This is a chit-chat between me and Nan about how we feel this season's gone. Now, before I say anything else, the season isn't over yet.
No.
And when I say season, I don't just mean season as in spring, autumn, summer, winter.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of people have referred to this run of Green-Fingered Hell as the third season of Green-Fingered Hell. I quite like that. It's never been more applicable to a series of films, has it?
No, absolutely.
Yeah. What would you say the USP of Green-Fingered Hell is? We often get a lot of people saying things like, and I'm going to give you the sort of standard lines, get someone in to do it. Why you don't seem to know what you're doing. Why don't you make a plan? All of those things are kind of true, but that's not really the point. We're not trying to be experts, are we?
No, we're trying to feel our way gradually towards a new way of gardening.
Yeah, but I think it's a process of finding out, isn't it? We're finding out, and we, far from ever suggesting, a bit like with our parenting content and everything else, maybe film is a bit different, but we feel I feel a bit more expert in film because that's my area of study and expertise. But with this is a journey, and the journey is about finding out with you, and together.
Yeah, and I think maybe what doesn't come over too much, except it was part of the plot in the original first season of Green-Fingered Hell, was that, I mean, I used to be, and I don't know whether you know this, you guys, a really keen gardener. I had a garden for at least sort of 10 years, didn't I? And worked all the time in the garden, and sort of, by the time I left that house, knew quite a lot about gardening. And in a sense, when we started off, then I did a bit of work on Mark and Nadia's garden.
Yeah, many years ago. When was that about? Sort of when Kiki was about 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Maddie was very little child then, so it was a long time ago. And sort of gave up in the sense that it's such a difficult garden to do. As you've seen, even with 2 of us, it was too much for me on my own. And the reason I'm saying that is, I think in the beginning we thought, well, I know a bit about some plants, and Mark will learn from me and learn from things generally and blah, blah, blah. Well, what I've discovered is, no, nothing.
That's not true.
No, but things have moved on. I mean, just to take the whole salvia thing, I mean, almost everything is different to how it used to be.
I guess things must be. I mean, I think where you thought there were 3 or 4 varieties of something, there are now sort of cultivated hundreds of varieties.
There are now loads. And also, I mean, garden isn't immune to this thing of fashion. I mean, fashion invades everything, and gardening is another thing that it invades. I mean, certain things get to be popular. I mean, our little fern garden, which is still in its infancy down there, but ferns have become incredibly popular.
I want to get more ferns.
I know you do,
Yeah, so you're right. Also, the other thing that I think people have really loved is, I think in the first season of Green-Fingered Hell, Nadia and I, and then you kind of then became part of it. We probably ran an entire season just on dealing with this step area and how to deal with that bed just there, which still to this day hasn't really been fully resolved.
No.
But beyond that, it's become an opportunity for me and you to bond, Mum.
Oh, it certainly has.
Yeah, you find there are moments of great emotion, aren't there?
Well, yeah, but there are moments of great emotion with me all the time anyway. So
It's true.
I'm literally bumping into Mark, either crying, or laughing hysterically.
But what I like about this garden is I can go for a wander, at any point, and I can always find you somewhere sobbing or
looking up at
or
the sky,
giggling or looking at the sky.
Yeah. Trying to separate birds from squirrels, sort of thing.
So what would you say is your sort of proudest part of what we've achieved this year so far?
Whoa, this year,
How do you feel your involvement with it's been? Have you grappled with it in the way that you've wanted to? Have you felt
No, well, this year I've been far less
able-bodied?
than I was last year. I mean, the Acer bed is the sort of prime wonderful thing, which is almost, well, it is entirely yours. And 1 or 2 plantings
I don't see it
in
as
the middle.
ownership, Mum. I see it as ours.
Well, no, ours.
No, but some of your breakdowns. But I think for you, I mean, the garden is a bit of you want. I don't mean control in a bad way.
No.
You want sort of agency, don't you?
Yeah.
Over something, and you want to feel that sense of having nurtured it.
Yeah.
And grown it. I know. We both had a bit of a wobble when Nadia and Dina. That was a highlight for me. Was when they sort of Love Island-ified the front end of the garden. But do you remember I said it was a little bit of a tortoise and hare situation where they were going to run out of steam quite quickly. You were sobbing uncontrollably because Nanny Di's bed seemed to have vanished. And I said, trust me, they'll lose interest.
Yes, which they have.
And they have.
Yeah.
So I think one of the last things we should do for this sort of coming out of summer, though we are endeavouring to carry on, I am going to carry on through winter because I think some of the major structural stuff, for example, that
down there.
what's the bud? Is that a buddleia over there?
Yes.
That's going to come down. Though I want to keep the what's it, azalea, or what's the thing next to it that flowers beautifully, the pink thing?
Camellia.
Camellia. I want to keep the camellia. We're going to keep the fig tree. I think we need something there. But I think one of the last things we should do this season is clear that bed, dig it up.
Which bed?
No, Nanny Di's bed. The one I'm talking about. The one that I said they'd lose interest in.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So that you have some agency and control of that, because you can still buy things throughout the autumn months.
Oh, you can, and in fact, they're begging us to.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Somebody was on. They're saying, please, everybody, just keep buying all through the winter because they've lost all. They've only had their money for about the last.
And also, last winter was quite mild, so again, once again, we might not have a frosty winter, and in London, it's often quite warm. So, what are your ambitions for the garden? What are you hoping for from the garden as we look forward?
Oh my God, you always ask these questions, which is so difficult to answer. Well, it would be good to get a bed. You're right. So maybe I should just concentrate or focus on that. But I do feel an involvement in the middle bed now. Do you feel it's a task we'll ever get under control? I think it would be depressing if one did feel you were getting it under control. The whole thing of gardening is that it's never under control. But there's a great satisfaction to clearing the weeds from an entire bed, even if you have to manage that. Oh yeah, there is. And also, I mean, I suppose, although, when did we work on the climbers? Was that the first season? That was the first season, yeah. Yeah, because we did quite a lot of work, if you remember, subs, on that. Most of which have been rejected now because they either didn't grow or what happened. We decided that what's been rejected? The climbers. What do you mean? They're all doing fine. Oh, are they? Yeah, all of them. Every single one. No, but we're going into winter, so they're pulling back. Yeah, okay. I mean, I haven't kept my eye on them this time. I was far more involved with the climbers last time, but yes. Well, have a look at them. You can take them in. Yeah, I'm gonna pay more attention to them. But the climbers are exactly where they were, to be honest. I mean, I'm not wanting to kind of go showing anything at the moment. I mean, we're entering autumn, so that all the clematis kind of fall back. Yeah. We've developed a fern gully. We've got our climbers. I think I'm going to put those big flower plant holders over there. We've got quite a few lilacs. We've got the acer bed, and that middle bed. If I have one frustration, it's that we can't seem to just finish the middle bed. You keep taking the tops off all the weeds. I keep then wanting to go in afterwards, and then they keep on coming through. It's a huge frustration that we just don't get. So I am thinking of ordering a load more fleece and linen. To do the thing that I'm doing in the front garden, which is cover it. Okay. But it's quite hard because we've planted quite a few things there, like the delphiniums and things like that. Yeah, but there is actually quite a lot of room around the delphiniums to still plant things. Yeah. So what are your reflections on it then? Do you think we've done well? Do you think it's been frustrating? Do you think it's been? I think there've been some very frustrating moments, but considering what sort of year it's been, I mean, don't forget I was in lockdown more or less at my place for over what with. Did I have the operation this year? Yeah. You did have the choice. No, I'm not saying it for that. No, but I'm just saying you could have. I mean, I must admit, if I'm honest, that was a moment where I felt a bit disappointed because I was hoping that you would have seen it as an opportunity to just really double down in the garden and get a load of therapy here. But I mean, it's affected us all in different ways, hasn't it? Really? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, in terms of being, I feel as if I've been. In a way, I feel as if I'm only just starting to get back into the garden. Oh, right, okay. So in that sense, say that like the last 2 times I've come, also we've had the sort of usual things of it's either been pouring with rain or so hot, I haven't been able to come out here. It's been a funny year, hasn't it? It has been a funny year. It's been either prohibitively hot, as you say, to be able to do anything. Yeah. And I have to say, that, I think things are doing incredibly well. Yeah. I mean, as I look now, I think things are doing incredibly well. We haven't really even looked at the bed that Tarek massively cleared, or the fact that all that debris from last year has been cleared out of the way. We still have a front garden that's a bit of a tip, but we've got a second clear out happening on that. But, that was a massive amount. We haven't even really gone over there and looked at it. Well, no, that whole bed is clear. Yeah, that's amazing. The whole bed is clear, which was actually running ragged. Yeah. So, again, I'm pleased because I feel like that was this year's equivalent to last year's Stephen
pulling all those trees down and us
that's
chainsawing
true.
them all.
It was.
And I feel that next year, or coming into this autumn season, the bed with the fig, you know, that huge bed there, which is really the last untamed wilderness leading up to the budget. I think that's what my target is to clear that bed.
Yeah.
And then all beds are kind of to clear for. And obviously I'm hoping to create the brand new bed down there, and even toying with this one that encroaches on the lawn.
Yeah. I mean, as I look at the Acer bed from here, I mean, the fact that how is it only a year ago that was a big thick laurel bush?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, no, it was this time last year.
This time last year.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, you couldn't get two more different vistas.
It does look a bit thin now, but I guess even there, I suppose everything thins out in autumn, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And also, even the fact that you've taken all the weeds away has left it with a sort of
So what can you promise us this year? What's going to be your resolution for the garden?
I'm going to have more agency in terms of getting plants, and like I'm either going to suggest them to you or come with you when you get them, and then look after them when they're in the garden.
More
and
research.
Hopefully, be able to actually dig a hole.
Maybe we should do more research.
Yeah, no, the research is good.
Yeah.
Research is good, yeah. And I should be doing more of it than you because I've got more time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, good. All right then. Well, there you go. Little catch up, philosophical catch up in the garden.